Hello friends and welcome to the channel. This is Stormhaven Gaming, I'm John and this is Timberborn. Okay, we're picking up on day 3, so shortly after the 1 day bad tide that we have. We're having a few issues with flooding. It seems like the water here is kind of pulsing rather than flowing steadily. So we've had some flooding issues down here. We've still got a little bit of mildly contaminated water collected up there, but that will evaporate soon enough. Oops, come around here. I've got these floodgates set to 1.65. So it's a little lower than normal, but that seems to be handling that flooding issue that we were having quite well, I think. Yeah, okay, right. I've been thinking about this zipline system that we've got, and I think it's probably not a terrible idea if we put in another station on the back here, have this line connect to it, and have this one just connected to that. That will open up another couple of connections in the middle here. So I think we will try to do that. It's not going to let us do it whilst... Yeah, whilst that zipline is in place, it's not going to let us do it. Alright. I'm going to risk... yeah, taking that out. I'll have to walk around here for the moment. I'll pop in another one just there. And we'll connect it with a path. There we go. I will also... I don't know if we're building anything else at the moment. Yeah, we are. We are building a few things. So we've got our herbalist up here being built. We've got the tank for the antidote being built. We've got our paper mill in place. And we do have storage set up for paper down here. Yeah, so we'll get this one rushed through. I think we just about have the resources for it. We have the planks, we have the metal blocks. Logs we do have, but we're still running a little bit low. Alright, that should be okay. And I'm going to put in, not decoration, it's well-being, a medical bed up here by the herbalist. So that should help sort of speed up the healing process there. Building lacks materials is the herbalist. Yes, we don't have any dandelions at the moment. Which is fair. It's going to take them about another day to grow. But then we should be able to start doing that. Okay, right. I mean, you are prioritised. You're not really doing a huge amount at the moment. But we will add that connection in for as soon as you're built. Look, yeah, we are still getting these minor flooding issues around here. I mean, I think we might just be having to deal with that. I don't know if there's anything we can do to prevent that. That might just be the way it flows. Anyway, that's that. Right, down here, we are also in the process of setting up this levee arrangement to block off the bad water from here. So that will take a couple of days to do. It's a little bit out of the way of our district centre. And obviously we are now prioritising that zipline station and all the other stuff we're building closer to the district centre. But once this is done, if I can... Nope, there we go. So once this is done, I mean, we'll need to build this first and then we'll be able to... We might have a problem. Okay, we can build that one. Apparently we can't build diagonally down off of this one for some reason. Is it because there's a dirt block in the way? Don't know. We'll have to see. Might be that I'm going to have to take this out and try something else and just risk contamination. But we'll see how that goes. Alright. I will spin on, I think, for a day or two. I'll let this zipline get done. We should start getting dandelions in to harvest, which means we can get some antidote produced. And then when this beaver becomes contaminated in a few days, we should be all right. They'll be able to get treatment pretty much straight away. That's the theory anyway. Okay, I shall spin on. Right then, start of day 5. We've got some dandelions in. We're waiting for them to just be ready for harvest. So we've got another couple of days before they're ready. Our unwell beaver, whoever our unwell beaver is, sleeping. They are actually contaminated. Oh no, they've just died. Alright, well, I mean, that rather solves the problem, doesn't it? I assume it wasn't the contamination that killed them, just old age. But, you know, that rather, as I say, solves the problem. Our zipline station is in. They do need to come out of the front door, walk around and into the front door of the other one to get round. So it does slow down this transition a little bit. I was hoping they'd be able to sort of cross over without leaving the buildings, you know, by putting a door between the two, basically. But that's not the case. They do have to walk around. But that's okay. It doesn't add substantially to the travel time, so we're all right. No drought or bad tide warning as yet. We have plenty of food waiting for harvest. Plenty of carrots there to harvest. A lot of potatoes to harvest. We are very full of potatoes. We have 549 grilled, 900 raw. So we could probably get away with getting rid of some of these and replacing them with something else. But all of our food storage is pretty much full, even the sunflower seeds. Which is, you know, very much unusual. I'm thinking perhaps we should actually put in some more storage for sunflower seeds somewhere. I mean, I guess we could. No, let's leave it for the moment. We'll leave it for the moment. Over here, we are still waiting, and they cannot reach that one. So they can't build down from here onto that. Because presumably the wall is in the way. That's unfortunate. Alright, so we're going to need to demolish those and get rid of that. And we will pop in, for the moment, I guess, just the one platform there. Once that's built, they'll be able to build that one. But I don't want to put any more in because we will just end up contaminating the beavers. What we can do, though, is stick in that one as well. Although that one is apparently able to be reached. Maybe it's just... I don't know. I don't know what's happening there. Hopefully we'll be able to get that done anyway. So, everything else is going fine. We are producing everything we need up here. So we need to think about expanding some more. Now, power-wise, we've still got a fair bit of power on this circuit that we can utilise. So that's good. We are making cattail crackers. We are making flour. Everything's going well on that score. Actually, some more storage for cattail crackers wouldn't be entirely a bad idea, would it? No. Alright, we'll do that. Let's get in some steps up there. We don't want to come too high in case we want to use these zipline stations to come out sort of this way. We should be alright. If we're going to put something up here, it would be a fairly steep climb. So we could certainly arrange things to avoid the blockages that we are putting in place. Right, let's get those in there. Right, okay, what is next then? That's a good question. I mean, another housing area wouldn't be a terrible idea. We've nearly filled up our current housing. We still have a few empty spots. Yeah, alright, well, let's put in another lodge down here first. There we go. That should help us a little bit. That'll give us another 3 spaces, basically. So it's probably worthwhile coming across here. Like so. And getting another lodge in this side as well. There we go. Alright. Okay. What is our next step? Probably more well-being. I think that's a good idea at this stage. I mean, we could get an Lido, couldn't we? Ideally, we'd want explosives rather than trying to use any of the space that we have. Because all of this is going to drop in level quite drastically during droughts. So having our own little spot for a Lido is probably a good idea. Alright. What are we looking at then? Sluices? I mean, do we want sluices just yet? Probably not. Probably, I mean, explosives are probably the best bet, aren't they? No, no. Well-being. Let's concentrate on well-being. Let's get... Where can we put these in? Let's put these in over here. So we'll put 3 platforms in there. We'll unlock the showers and put a couple of showers in there. As I say, this does drain. Certainly will drain over the longer periods of drought. We will be shutting these off and probably moving these water pumps eventually anyway. But we'll get those in to give them a little bit of boost to their well-being. What else can we do? Lido, not a lot of point. And Agora is large. And needs quite a lot of logs that we don't have at the moment. Yeah, okay, another log planting area is going to be worthwhile. We've kind of earmarked this area for that, haven't we? So we shall probably want to wait until this is done before we do that. Alright, let's... I'm going to risk putting in another platform there. And hope that we don't get too much sort of sideways overspill out of this gap. Yeah, we'll just have to see how that goes. We are... What, about a day and a half away from harvesting some dandelions. So that's not too bad. We'll be able to get some antidote on the go. Yeah, I'm not sure. This is an interesting map. It's one of those things where you think, oh, I know what I'm going to do. And then you look at it and go, well, maybe. Should I? Yeah, it's bit by bit. I think we're going to have to go slowly. So we're going to get this finished down here. So we'll force the bad water around this loop here and back into there. And then we'll move up here to get this done. I mean... Alright. Okay, I'm going to... bring a path up that way. And I'm going to pop in a zipline station up here. Yeah. And then I'll... Yeah. And then we'll put another one in down here, and then at least it'll be quicker to get sort of down into this area. We'll connect it up to this one. There we go. And then we'll connect it up to another one that's down here. Obviously, we'll need to come up here and build that, but at least we'll be able to shorten the journey time a little bit. Yeah, all right. At this stage, then, I guess I'll spin on until the start of the drought or bad tide, or at least until we get the warning. We'll see how we're doing. Okay, day 12. We are doing all right. As you can see, we are moving our beavers around fairly rapidly. We've got our zipline station in down here. I've put in a bridge across here and a log cutter to get rid of these dead trees. So we're getting 8 logs from each of these. So that's a boost to our wood supplies. All of this is done except for this last one, which I've got paused for the moment to avoid any flooding down here. Yeah. I think I'm going to leave that until we hit a drought. That way there won't be any issues with contamination. Although we do have... Where are we? 72 antidote in stock. So if we do get contaminated, it's not too much of an issue. I mean, obviously, I'd rather we didn't get contaminated because that's beavers not working, but it is what it is. Oops, thank you, autosave. Yeah, in terms of other resources, we're doing okay. We've got a decent supply of planks. We're building up a supply of paper. We've got a good supply of metal blocks. Gears, yeah, not so much. What I am going to do is I'm going to remove this lumber mill from here. Because we don't need it for the moment. We have another one up here. So we have 2 lumber mills working. I've put in an additional grill down here. So we've got 1 for spadderdock, 1 for potatoes, and 1 for chestnuts. So we have food being grilled if there's space available for it at all times. At the moment, not a lot of space available for food. Which is fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a lot of food in stock, is there? Water-wise, we've got 1.2 thousand. We could do with upping that a little bit, which would involve just putting in some more water storage around the place. Getting some up here wouldn't be a terrible idea. Don't want to put it there because that will cut off everything. So let's put it over there. And we'll bring the path out that way. Get rid of that. Decoration rather. Can't really put any lanterns in necessarily. Could get one in there. That would affect one stack of lodges. Or I suppose we could run them up the back that way, couldn't we? And have some more entertainment around this side. That's not a terrible idea. Yeah, we need extract for that. Is it extract we need? I think it's extract we need for that. Dance hall, mud pit. Yeah, none of this is available to us at the moment, really. We could get an agora, but that also uses extract. All right. Where are we? Refinery? No. Where are we? Centrifuge. That's what we want. That's 200 horsepower. And that will turn bad water into extract. Maybe. Maybe. 200 horsepower. How are we looking? We've got nothing from the windmills. We have nearly 200 spare just from the water wheels. Or do we unlock gravity batteries? Oh, it's difficult. Difficult to know what the best way to proceed would be. I think at the moment we will just carry on. We'll get this all sorted out over here first. Let's get... Where are we? Levees. Let's get a levee wall in there. We'll bring a path around across it. Like so. And that will allow us access to both ends of this so we can demolish the blockages. So we'll start with those two on that side. Okay. I will now spin on to the start of the drought or bad tide. Day 18, and there's the drought. It's going to be 6 days. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. If we pause there, I will close that up. I'm not going to bother closing that one. And this one is already at 0.85, I think. So we'll leave that as it is. That should be enough. Over here, we have completed our levee wall. And we've removed the blockage from there. Once we get dynamite, we'll probably come in and drop that down to the same level as this. But with the drought now active... Oops. This should slowly start to fade away. And we'll be able to reactivate... Oops, I'm completely stuck here. There we go. Reactivate the building order on that. Like so. So that should be... that should be built there. And we'll stick the other one on top just to completely seal that off. Which should, in theory, send all of the bad water this way. And thenceforth through here and off the map. This lumberjack over here has done a pretty good job of clearing this whole area. I can see 2 trees remaining. Which is pretty good. But we obviously used a lot of the wood in getting that levee wall built. But that's okay. Looks like they're coming down here to build this. It'll take a little while, obviously. Not too long, hopefully. It'll be done by the end of the day, at least, I would have thought. Let's pause our gear workshop and our lumber mill down here. Let's pause both of these water pumps and this one up there. We have 1,500 water in stock. We've still got 2 water pumps drawing from this larger area down here. We should be all right. I've put in another lodge up here. We now actually have some unemployed beavers since we've closed down a few workplaces, but that's okay. I've shut off this forester up here because we don't need it at the moment. We don't need it to be active, at least. These dandelions will just regrow. They don't need to be replanted. Yeah, everything else is going fine. We've got 176... 182 antidote in total. So that's good. That will keep us going through quite a few contaminations, I suspect. Our science is slowly building back up again. We only have 3 inventors' huts down here. Yeah. Oh, we got no power up here at all because there's no wind blowing. Typical. I do really want to get in some batteries somewhere. I do think sort of dropping them down into here would probably be a good idea. Just not sure about getting the power across there because we don't want to get in the way of these zip lines. I imagine if we drop it down onto that level, we should be all right. We could probably use an overhang to get it across there. Don't know. We'll think about that. Yeah, we'll have to think about that. Everything else is going absolutely fine. We've got our showers down here being used. We've got our campfire up here and our rooftop terrace up here all being used. It wouldn't be a terrible idea to get some more of that scattered about the place. And maybe even up here. No, we'll worry about that when we've actually got new housing areas, I think. Let's probably the best bet. Yeah. Because I'm a little bit disappointed in the way the ziplines work. The fact that the zipline stations only have 2 connections. That's a little bit restricting, which obviously is the aim. They're designed to be restrictive. But after the tube ways, yeah, they're a little bit disappointing. They look great. In terms of the way they look and the way they function, it's amazing. It's really good. I love watching these beavers zipping from place to place, hanging from their wires. That's awesome. But in terms of the functionality, yeah. Only 2 connections, it very much restricts what you're able to do with them. Yeah. All right, never mind. You've cleared all those trees, have you? All right. We'll pause you then. This is completed. So when the water returns, the bad water should flow this way. That's good. All right. What I might do... Yeah, what I might do is unlock a bad water pump. Might be worth getting some bad water stored up. Maybe. Where would be a better place to put it? Would it be better to stick one on there? It might be, mightn't it? Although getting around there is going to be... We'd have to put steps in down that side instead, wouldn't we? Yeah, because we'd have to put it in like that. Alright, well, let's put it in down here then. One bad water pump down there. We'll connect it up. And we'll put in, directly across from it, we'll put in some bad water storage. There we go. So when the bad water starts flowing again, that will start pumping. Alright. I think we're okay. I don't think we're going to have too many problems surviving the next 5 days. So I shall spin on. There we go. The end of the drought, we did absolutely fine. In terms of food and water, yep, still absolutely great. We are almost entirely out of logs, or we are in fact entirely out of logs. We are waiting for these to regrow now. Over here, I have laid in a bunch of stuff. So we've got some platforms across there to connect up around here. We've got steps down here, and we've got dams going in across here. And we've got floodgates going in at the end here. So when the water returns, which it should do reasonably soon, I will set that to 0.8. So yeah, when the water is flowing, it should catch in here and bring it all up to sort of this sort of level, which will flood that area and it will flood that area, which means we'll have a lot of space down here for more tree planting, which we desperately need. So, where would be best to stick? We might need a couple of... yeah, we'll probably need a couple of foresters, I think. So I'll have one over there. And then all of this space here can be set up for tree cutting. And we'll want another one over this side as well. We'll wait until all the rest of this stuff is built before we do that. Okay, so the water is returning through there. That's good. Let's turn our water pump on there. Once it starts flowing down into there, we'll turn these on as well. We currently have 4 unemployed, which will fit nicely in the closed businesses we've got down there. Shockingly, we do actually have some wind coming through here now. We haven't had for most of the drought. Yeah, it's just the way it is. We've also got our bad water pump in up here that will need somebody working in it. We have 6 children, 3 spaces. I think we're going to need more housing. So let's get a couple of platforms up to the end there. And we'll get a new lodge just tucked in under that rise there. Yeah. That will do us, I think. At least for the moment. Yeah, food-wise, we're absolutely fine. We're not getting through the food that we're producing. So, I mean, I could get rid of some of this farming and turn that over to tree planting as well. But I think we'll leave it. I'll drop this down to 0.65. So, in theory, that should start... This is now filling up, so that should start flowing there fairly soon. Is it... I think it is, isn't it? It's a long way from our district centre. There's not really any viable way to get a zip line across here. Unless we come all the way out around underneath here. But we've got a lot of trees there that would be perfect for cutting. So let's do that. Let's connect up these paths here. Bring a path across there and stick in a lumberjack there. And we'll just mark all of this area to cut. There we go. So that should help, in theory. I might even... will I? Yeah, I might even put in a little log storage up here as well. Obviously, we will set that to supply. Okay, right, they've got some building work to be getting on with. We are waiting for this to fill up. There we go. It's already at the first level, so it's got a little bit of time to get before it starts overflowing this way. Thank you, autosave. All right, yeah. Water is flowing down here. Let's get our gear workshop and our lumber mill switched on. Let's get these two water pumps switched on. All right, I'll spin on. Day 11 then. We've played on for a fair stretch of time. All of our work down here is pretty much complete, as you can see. We've got our floodgates in. If I can get in there without it being in the way of the wall. There we go. Floodgates in down here, keeping all of this hydrated. We've got ourselves a forester over this side. We've planted up oaks here and here. We've got pines there, and we've got maple over here. We've got a woodcutter over there and a woodcutter over there. On this side, we've got ourselves a forester in there with some pines there, and we're planting up oak over on this side. We've got a lumberjack there, and a lumberjack there. Yeah, that's where we are. We have one spare bed space, 7 children, 1 vacancy. Although we can actually pause that one. Yeah. I've got... Where are we? Connected to this zipline station here. I've got a zipline station in there. Another one over here. And that is going to connect up to this one down here. It's a little bit tight through there, but that's the best space I could find for it. Over here, our bad water pump is pumping. We have 91 bad water in storage there, 103 in total. So this is all working as predicted. So the bad water is just coming straight off the map in the top corner here. So that's good. Yeah, I think we're doing all right. We've expanded our operations pretty well, I think. We've got a lot of wood cutting down here. We've only got a little bit of storage, honestly. And we are up to 330 logs in storage. So that's good. We're boosting our storage again, which is nice. We're clearing out these dead trees whilst we're waiting for these to be planted. We've got, what? Yeah, 5 days before they're ready to harvest. So that should be done around the time of the next drought or bad tide. But these should be protected from both. As I say, we've got the floodgate there. So that should keep that in place. We've got dams across here. So this should stay a little bit a little bit more full. Yeah, I think we're all right. We are going to leave it there for this episode. We're not going to play on till the next drought. This episode is quite long enough and it involves mostly me faffing around. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. Please do give us any advice. Thank you very much to everybody who does. Please do give us a like and a subscribe. Really does help the channel out, and I'm really trying to help the channel to grow. And please join us next time. Till then, I've been John. This has been Timberborn. Please do take care of yourselves, stay safe, and bye-bye.